Good morning, and let's breathe some more because it's important, especially in light of COVID-19. So what are we going to do here? Let me get this thing out of the way. That'll work. Here we are. No messy whiteboard in the back. No problem if there is one. You know, life doesn't have to be perfect. But our breathing practices need to be religious. That means we need to do it. And so let's get it rolling. Long neck, loose neck. This axis, we have the atlas vertebrae. It's the top one. It's like Atlas holding the world. And then we have the axis moving from side to side. Both those need to be loose, as though we are foraging in the forest or relaxed. No, deactivated. When you do this, even if you're thinking a thought and you're like, oh my gosh, can you feel how that would seize up? That activates the amygdala. That stops the breathing. It's no coincidence that our breathing area of the brainstem is in this area as well. And all the cranial nerves come out of here, this area. Eyes, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. No, just eyes, mouth, tongue, olfactory, and the vagus nerves that talks to the last nerve that talks to all of our organs. So the brain, it's the central hub. It's where the right side goes to the left arm, hey Macarena, and etc. Macarena. So good. Hey Macarena. Rhythm's good too. It's a form of energy for us. It talks to our physiology, gives our physiology to do the permission to do all these micro movements. Let it happen. All of that's controlled from the cerebellum, where 50% of our brain cells are. They all need oxygen. Okay, so long neck, loose jaw, and loose shoulders, right? Now, we can lift our shoulders and not activate the amygdala, for sure. Hung from trees all those years, might as well, huh? I tell you, if an ape or a monkey has tight shoulders trying to go from those trees, rasa rock. Crack. So there's a flow in our oxygenated and loose torso. Everything that surrounds the brain. I took massage therapy before I went into neuroscience because I realized that you keep this area loose and especially with dementia, they're like, and you relax that, the brain goes with it. Beautiful thing, beautiful thing. So this is, a very primal type crawling around, getting around, dragging ourselves around. And mitochondria eat the oxygen we deliver to it, and fuel everything at a very micro, highly exacting level. Sensory is fueled. Vestibular is fueled. Judgment, reason, riding a bike, rollerblading, playing that piano is fueled. Doing the surgery is fueled. We know what we have to do, and the brain will do it for us. This is just the rudder. This frontal lobe, where all of this wild, wild west, not too many brain cells, but a lot of real estate. We need to be careful of our choices. Our choices have consequences. Mentoring is important for young people. Good parenting is pivotal. Good education is non-negotiable. Should be. And so structuring it is good, but then letting go and oxygenating and let it taking root is how we're going to beat COVID, because COVID is a hypoxic problem. It's a problem with our mitochondria. I just did a lecture on that. It was pretty intense. That COVID moves into our mitochondria and reproduces the leading RNA, and also and creates the double membrane vesicles, which it moves into and keeps going. So we need to know, We've been told, I tell you every time, that hypoxia causes all diseases from cancer down the line. Hypoxic-driven dysfunction is aging, problem in aging, problem throughout our lifespan. So we have a good lesson here with COVID-19, costly lesson. And we are rebounding. And as always, America's leading the way. The more COVID we have here, the more we have to rebound. And in the process of all this disease, we gain great understanding. So I was doing my transcendental meditation this morning. What is that? Long neck, loose neck. It's a form. I should put the number on it, and I will next time. We'll talk about it very in depth. But the cognitive breath of, I love the word Jehovah. You know, I believe in the DNA God. That's all in the front. DNA. If you do it, DNA God, all of that frequency is in the front. If you do God on its own, it pops more into the back of the brain. That's resonance in these areas. And where there's resonance and frequency, there's free energy. And so these things are like activated and engaged through the free energy. La eternal Father, strong to say. I take a breath, I press that oxygen into the lungs, and I am oxygenating through singing. I'm using singing to oxygenate. At the same time, there's a little prayer in there. I pledge my life unto the flag that I love. I'm giving it away to patriotism, which is kind of a form of religion. Can you control patriotism? You can show up for it, like church. It's the same network, and it's kind of a letting go network. That's a good network. Because when we lock, amygdala, when we cripe, this area, it all rolls together, these techniques to enable. So I like the word Jehovah, A-O-A. Pop does right, nice little circle. God and Jesus. There are resonances involved with that, and cognitions and stories and trust and faith, elements of faith. Important. These are important in our letting go of the amygdala and not locking in with, I've got faith. There it is. Sorry, there's your amygdala. Real faith, like the DNA God, understanding that just taking that breath is going to let all of this stuff happen outside of our control. Like going to the bus stop. We can't control that bus coming, but we have to be at the bus stop to get on it. So when I meditate, I start with Jehovah. I like that one. Almighty God. These are resonance areas of Alaya. Then I go to pure, perfect providence. I love those. Somehow those words just open me up to an even deeper, broader, evolved breath. George Washington, his favorite word was providence. A-E-E. A-E-E. Frontal, medial prefrontal, parietal, which is the community arena. All these different areas, facial recognition, they're all around this. You can put it together. It's like a puzzle. You can piece it together with functional magnetic resonance findings, oxygenation findings, all the science over the last 10 years. That Obama administration did a good job funding that decade of the brain. Obama on that one. And I rode that wave to get all these degrees behind me, except the music one, wherever that go. I guess that's over here, wherever it is. Music, I guess that red one. And the PhD's coming. So, La Jehovah, Almighty Almighty God, the DNA God, pure, perfect, pristine providence. Somehow the transcendental meditation part of those words puts me in a really interesting place. And then from that place, I commit to stay in that place of acceptance, of turning it over to that network. And that's a good place to continue breathing in, to continue living during the quarantine, to continue figuring out ways to be of service to our community, our neighbors. I did a film over the weekend for the July 4th, and oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties, above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. What a beautiful meditation that is. And when I say brotherhood, I mean sisterhood, parenthood, familyhood, neighborhood, all sorts of hoods, all the good hoods. When I say fruited plain, I mean the verdant plain, the recuperating plain. So we can add our own experience and dreams and wishes. And to find it at when you speak, this was my dissertation, speak, la, la, la. Your speaking voice has a note. You find that note. Here comes the bride. Oh, beautiful America. There's your comfortable range. Can I leave you with that? And try that again. Speaking voice. Now I'm a singer, so mine can change a little bit, and I can handle a little more of a range. But if you're talking like this, here comes the bride. Oh, beautiful, da 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 da, America. That's comfortable. That's manageable. And from that comfort and manageability, you thrive. And my Alzheimer's patients improved their narrative outcomes. It made sense. They improved their clock drawings, one of the most wonderful ways to test what's going on in the brain. They improved their MMSE scores significantly over those who did not participate in the singing. And my job was to help them find their most comfortable range. And that's kind of a quick trick way to do it. All right. Breathe on, it's all good. And that, my friends, is a breathing lesson.